Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a minute since I've posted anything, and it's actually kind of a misty day today. But I wanted to take you around the garden real quick just to kind of show you some of the changes that have been going on, some stuff that's looking really good. Just a reminder, this is a garden here in Northeast Ohio, Zone 6B. We have agreed to be on a local garden tour next year, which is the third week of June generally. So we're starting to just kind of pound the pavement on, well, I should say I am right now, and getting things that need to be transplanted into the correct spots so that it feels good for me. It's not for anybody else, it's for me. And just tidying up the garden in general, things that I can do now that I won't have to do come spring. So let's take a quick tour. We're going to start here at the back patio with a quick change that I made, and we'll see where we end up. So starting right here from off the patio, we did have Copper King heucherellas, which were doing really, really well up until this year, and they kind of fizzled out. I think a number of the issues are not enough water. I think also they just were not getting the feed that they needed. So I moved up these Polemonium, which is lungwort, and this is Raspberry Splash from Terra Nova. And I find these to be way more drought resistant. They have a really good thick root system, so I plant them in here and I expect them to fill in quite a bit. And I think it was a smart choice, and it should have been done from the beginning. The rest of the garden is not looking too bad. The plan this season is, well, this season, possibly even into the next, is either doing leaf mulch or going in with compost. You can see the rain is coming down a little faster, so we might have to take a quick break. I wasn't doing this 5 minutes ago. Uh, but while we're under the tree, these hanging baskets did do pretty good, and then I kind of just gave up on watering, but they're still holding on. I'm going to be taking these apart within the next day or two, taking the asparagus fern in and the streptocarpellas, and then these purple bridal veils into the greenhouse. We've moved in a couple little things along the path, and I've really enjoyed the succulents down the path, which are just a little bit of a different thing. We have planted our creeping weeping Norway spruce. It is creeping, but it is a weeping Norway spruce that had the leader damaged out of it, and this is how it's forming. Still looks pretty good. I think we're going to take that break now because now the wind's even picking up. Okay, so let's get back to our tour now that the rain has stopped. We'll move past here. Me and Rob were just talking, and apparently we're going to be dropping down significantly in the next 2 days to like 41 and 38. So now the rest of my day is going to consist of getting in any of the annual cuttings that I need to get and any of the things that need to come into the greenhouse, which I'm not prepared for. I was not prepared for this. Persicaria is still looking great going into fall, as well as the heucheras. We have done a change here where I have bumped out this bed in preparation for our future pond that we're going to put in here. That's why we have the chair here, because we were kind of deciding whether or not this was going to be enough space for 2 chairs to sit and kind of how this is going to be. The main objective was just to get everything moved out. So I've got some paper down, which some of it's blown back from the wind and such. And I still need to get mulch and compost down. But this is Grape Crush aster. Really beautiful aster, but because of the amount of watering that we've been doing to get this grass fixed, we're sacrificing a number of blooms, and I'm hoping within the next, like, I think today would be like the last day that we're going to be consistently watering out after a couple hours each time, that, you know, the plants will finally be able to rest. I'm okay to walk on this a little bit. So this side garden's looking pretty decent. Started these Agastaki from seed, really enjoy those. Found the seed again to make sure that I had them. I'm going to start more for this upcoming season. This is the white aster that randomly showed up in the garden. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's very pretty. I think next year though I will Chelsea chop it. The castor beans are looking good. I did want the purple, pure purple variety, but I could not find the seeds. The blooms are really, really pretty too. The whole plant is toxic, but understand that it is in the family that does create a really bad chemical. We're not going to get into that, but you can look up your own thing. We are still battling some of the Canadian thistles, and still surprised that we have so many blooms on the Rudbeckia. This is a Rudbeckia I've told you about a couple times. I think I threw the name on the screen in one of our past videos, but it's still going strong, and the goldfinches love it. We have this calico aster, which is Black Lady or Lady in Black calico aster. And then I do need to come through and get some more cuttings of this salvia. This is one that I overwintered from cuttings in the last year. Randomly put them in here, not knowing what color they were because I had started so many, and it is absolutely one of my favorites. We'll swing around here real quick. The caladiums are still going good. They're starting to look a little worse for wear, so I assume after the first couple frosts, we'll then come through and be digging up bulbs. Blank spots here and there, that's fine. We've got some orchids blooming here. Interesting. I would like to maybe try some different varieties. And then the Miner's Merlot Euphorbia is absolutely amazing. Now, I've honestly forgot to check this. This is Cheerman's Hinoki Cypress. I think it got a bit shaded, but maybe not. I'm not quite sure. I'm hoping as time progresses, it does kind of rebound. I'm not going to fret it yet. And then we have done, excuse the mess, we've got a lot going on. Cleanup is the easy part. Getting where I need to be is the hardest part. But I've done a lot of planting through here. This is a lot of stuff from the ditch that I've given up on that project, and I moved everything over to here. These are just now blooming. These are a Helianthus that is just starting to bloom, which is wild. We still have some sassy summer yarrows coming into bloom, and I just moved a lot of things around because the plan is to hopefully be starting the addition of the greenhouse very shortly. Again, a lot of stuff is a mess over here, but I need to get off the grass here because it's still young. Let's see, where should we go? I think we'll do this and then we'll loop back up to the front because I want to make this kind of a quick video. Not a lot's going on over here. I did some cleanup in that section of the bed. I need to go through and weed out again. I was trying to get rid of the yarrow, the Peter Cottontail yarrow out of here, and I was actually going to transplant it. Unfortunately, it died before I could do that. But I've got some new stuff coming up, so I'm not quite sure. Do I keep it? Do I not? I kind of wanted to leave this space a little bit bare, maybe pop in a few annuals, but in time we'll see. I still have some plants to move out of here, out of the pond bed, which may or may not happen until spring. Then we're going to get this area reseeded, and this will go back to lawn as well. Things are looking good over here with the Verbena bonariensis, and we've got the crepe myrtle still blooming. Not a lot going on back there, so I'm not going to waste our time, but we still have not figured out what to do with this area. I'm genuinely embarrassed to see kind of how the yard looks right now, just because I have had some other goals that I've been trying to accomplish, and I've put the garden on the back burner, but now I'm trying to get back into it, so now there's a lot of cleanup to be done. So the other day I spent the day coming through here, and I weeded out all of this Penstemon digitalis, Midnight Masquerade. It seeds everywhere. So I was able to get all of that out. I did some selective prune back. I even went in and took out a few other perennials. There's some blank spots. There's a few, actually I missed a few little spots here, and I know there's some more over here that I need to get weeded out. And then I want to get this mulched or at least composted in. And this will be set and ready for next year. And we can add what we want maybe later on. Things are looking good over here as well. Our Picea, what is that? Norway spruce, Cupressina, doing spectacular. Hasn't grown much more this year, which is fine, but I expect it to jolt up next year. But the Cryptomeria elegans, Aurora elegans, is looking absolutely stunning, nice and fluffy, and our Celosia back there. And then tell me if you've had this random lungwort just pop up somewhere in your yard, I'm going to let it go. See what happens to it. What's the worst that could happen? It dies out. It was a free plant. Two other things I'm thinking of removing are this Amber Jubilee 9 bark. I kind of want to put in a black Winecraft black smoke bush here, and then I want to put this boxwood in a container for up on the patio. Yes, it's very large. I have a very large pot for it, so it'll be good. I've come through here and also added in another number of plants from the ditch as well. So we added in some Veronica, some brushstrokes, blue stems, salvias down here, crepe myrtles. This is kind of just, I'm kind of throwing some stuff in here just so it's nice and full for the tour, because I really don't have a plan for this area just yet. I do know I want to add a couple hydrangeas in between the Parkland Pillar Birch. So I'm thinking in that sense that'll be nice, and maybe another Lottie's Love over here to balance out this one. But the Suntacular Rebecchias are still going. I can't believe how long they've been blooming for. Such a good Rebecchia. Another little annual that I'm really loving that I got late into the ground is this Bachelor's Buttons. I want to say it's a Mexican Bachelor button. I could be wrong. It's a really pretty, matches the salvia colors. It's coming up rather light, but it's not profuse, but also it's been going non-stop. Whereas the traditional Bachelor's Buttons that we're so used to, like come up, they bloom profusely, and then they like die, and then they have to reseed. This is just has a nice habit. It's been going, it's been blooming. I absolutely love this. I got the seeds from hayfield.com, Hayfield, from Nan. Absolutely awesome. It was a little tricky to get going, but I'm not going to harp on that too much. Our Northwind Panicums, obviously splayed open after a rain. They'll pop back up. But this is a fringe tree, our Chinese fringe tree, and it got berries. So we won't actually get berries again after this year because these are dioecious, male and female plants. You'll need two. Unfortunately, I just had the female. So unless I can find a male some way, somehow, we won't get blueberries again. One thing to mention over here is that you remember seeing the umbrella over here all the time over the Skyline spruce. It was because it was getting burned. I did the spray on it, the anti-desiccant. Ugh, so many thistles. Anti-desiccant, then put the umbrella over it, and it has made a full recovery. I am so ecstatic about that. I will have to continue the umbrella and anti-desiccant for at least another 2 to 3 years, just so that this settles in very, very nicely. It'll be good. My next plans right now are to get in here and start cleaning up behind the arborvitaes, and they do need a shear just to get them in check for the rest of the year so that in spring they come out and they fill in denser. I did find another double play doozy, so now I'll have that curve of the spireas here, and then just move the sedum up front. I'm still not sure I like these sedum. This is Autumn Joy, and I'm not sure that I even like the other sedum, which is over here, which is another one I don't remember the name. I love the color of the blooms on this and like the leaf shape, but it just doesn't do it for me anymore. But the long border is looking really, really good. Sorry about the lighting. I'll bring that down a little bit for you. Ground covers are taking off. One thing that I think is really cool that blooms during late summer, early fall is the Lespedeza plant, which are these pink blooms. It's a perennial sub-shrub. It's something like that. It's essentially dies back to the ground and then grows super, super fast and fills out the space by like a 5x5. And it's just so pretty. And these are all blooms that are just going to keep opening up as it continues on. And it's so ethereal. It's so pretty. Next to the floral berry sangria hybericums from Monrovia. And then we have the white aster blooming. This is the Cheyenne Sky panicum. I'm taking inventory of how many I have in like certain spots, and I will be taking them out and replacing them with Shenandoah. It's been a good performer for me. I'm just going to stick with it. Similar height, a little broader of a habit, so I won't need as many, but it'll be just as good. What else do we have going on here? Look how pretty these berries are. These are actually seeds from blackberry lily, also called freckle-face lily. They just pop up randomly here and there. Excuse me while I adjust my mic. And that's going to lead us, oh, look at that aster. This is the Japanese aster. It was standing up beautifully and straight yesterday. And now with the amount of rain we've had, it is just having its day. We do have our first black squirrel, which our area, we are in the neighboring city of where the black squirrel originated from, and we finally have one in our yard. So, excuse some more of the mess. We're gonna head our way out to the front. So you've seen the reel that I posted. We took out the arborvitaes along the path here and put in the full speed hedge, which is the American pillar variety. We are suffering a little bit of burnt tips from transplant, and I do believe it is that one right there. We're probably gonna have to replace. It seems crispy and not going to rebound, but we'll see. I'm just gonna keep watering them. They are on drip. They are getting a full gallon of water every day right now because the soil is so loose, and like, you know, not the best from having the original arborvitaes there. We are going to take out these stepping stones and replace them. I've got a whole another stack of these. These are sandstone pool coving that was salvaged from a job that a friend had. And we're going to redo this path, and I've got the whole vision for this area finally, instead of just this rambling mess of stuff. Which does include taking out this fig plant and just not. I don't love it. We'll see where we end up. I am having a bit of a scary moment with this redbud. I did just limb it up recently because it was out into the path. You can see the fresh cuts, but this section just kicked the bucket, but it's still alive. And then the other side's perfectly fine. This is Rising Sun. My intent is to see what happens with this side and determine if we're going to be able to keep it going for much longer. What else do we have here? The zinnias look dreadful in my opinion, and I'm ready to take them out, which is something I have been doing. I took out all the annuals that were along here. There were literally just some vinca, Cora vinca through here. There was purslane, which never seemed to bloom very well at all. And then the marigolds, which succumbed to the amount of sprinkler, overhead sprinkling we had. So let's just do a step out here and then we'll look back. So looking back, a couple things mentioned. This is Agastache Princess Plume, and it is absolutely insane how large the blooms are. And it's been continuously covered in pollinators, looking amazing. This is Cha-Cha Pink Penstemon, and it also has been blooming for an extremely long time. I'm hoping next year it'll stand up straight. Obviously, these were plugs that I had transplanted out into the garden, and I could have done multiple trims to really like bulk them up to get them to stand, but who has time for that? The Macdania daisies are starting to bloom, which is a fall blooming plant, very succulent like leaves. This will kind of grow into almost like a shrub form. You can trim it and prune it and keep it into a mound. And then we have Galaxy, what is this? This is not snowberry, a beautyberry bush. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's 3 of them in here. I'd actually like to add a couple more of those to the garden because I really think there's something. We moved in some Millennium Alliums, not Millennium, this is actually Lavender Bubbles, and it's starting to sprinkle again, guys, so this, oh my goodness. Okay, so, yes, Lavender Bubbles, Alliums, I've got a couple more I'm gonna bring into here. I've cut back the milkweed because it was just brown sticks, it was flying everywhere. I've also been battling Aster divaricata like nobody's business in here, and this New England aster is going to come out as well for the sake of I'm sick and tired of weeding out these plants, and there's cultivars on the market that have better habits and are not a mess like them. So moving along, Monty, looking spectacular. More of the Cheyenne sky. These were doing exceptional and then just went to crap. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out as well, and I'm going to find a different plant to take this texture. Looking to see what all that is. That is Veronica. Okay. Some of our dahlias are still going. I actually just came through here and deadheaded a number of these. This, I believe, is Rockstar. I really like the anemone types. I need to come through here and, again, just start cleaning up. This area kind of got a small rework. I knew I wanted the Nepeta back in here, but haven't quite figured out what the next tier is. We've got peonies back there, which desperately need cut. I am going to take out the anemones because they are just spreading like nobody's business. And then we'll see how these forsythia look come spring. They may get replaced as well. So throw some ideas out. This area would pretty much be an all-day sun, and it needs to be drought tolerant. I did add some agastache back here. I do have some other perennials coming in the spring, but this is a high area for deer. They literally come in and out of this area all the time. So there's gonna be some improvements coming to this area as well. These are all seedlings of the tassel flower, which I'd already taken out, and they're just starting to pop up again. I haven't gotten to mulch. Just been a number of things, guys. You know, life escapes us, and I had to do stuff that was more important than gardening at the time. But I really have grown to appreciate what is that stuff? Purple fountain grass. Absolutely love it paired with the Verbena bonariensis. That was spectacular. And then this dahlia has done really, really well. And then these are the few alliums that I still need to move. But the layering in this area looks really good. Rob was actually supposed to help me take that out, but then I ended up working in the backyard. I had pulled my shoulder blade the other day and couldn't lift it, but it was already over here, so I got at least the tree planted. This is going to be a Crimson Cloud hawthorn, Indian hawthorn. So I'm really excited to see that. And then Waltzy Matilda has shown up to the party. This was gifted to me by Aaron, and this is its second season with me. The first year it ended up getting spider mites terribly in the pot that I had it in. This year it just started blooming like a week and a half ago. The 4 o'clocks, I will say, are a really amazing color. They produce a tuber, and I'm planning on lifting the tubers and storing them. Even though they were super easy to grow from seed, I can have mature plants really, really quick just from the tubers. So I'm going to go that route. I lost the Thailand Giant competition, which is fine. I think almost all of us were sick and tired of dealing with this plant. Not only because I think we all cited it pretty much wrong, and then for some reason it was troubling. It was really troubling, this plant this year. The alyssums are still going, guys. Best $5 spent. I am looking to get the dark purple variety next year because that's what was supposed to be in here. So I hope it performs just as well through the season. We have the Garas blooming right now as well. This is Beliza, I believe. And then if you're local, come get these stupid pavers. Nobody's taken them yet. I'm also going to afford some more room to tuck in just a few more like moderate sized annuals for the upcoming season. And then if you're looking for a really good panicum and like that blue-green color, this is Niagara Falls, and look how good it's standing up in both these areas. I like this plant so much, I added one more into where the purple zinnias are, so hopefully it comes up and looks good there. So we'll scan across. This bed with its dead tree, oops, is gotten edged and extended down here a little bit. So that way, my next project as well, like this week, I have 2 sets of projects. I want to get this bed completely cleared, including the boxwood. The grasses will have to stay. Clear it out, get it mulched, get it prepared, because next year we're going to be doing a full display of annuals for the tour that we've talked about, and maybe even tuck in some shrubs. We'll see, because I think I want this to end up being more of a shrubby border. My poor magnolia tree. This is its first full season in the ground because I did transplant it, I think, what was it, last year? So I'm hoping now that she's established, she's gotten plenty of water, she's regrowing from the bottom, she's put on growth up here, she stops being stressed out and gets with it. The front border, I did do a little bit of cleanup yesterday. In fact, I did have this tour completely filmed, and then I was absolutely hating every minute of what I had captured because I didn't have my microphone on me. It was completely impromptu, so I thought you guys deserve definitely better, at least to like hear me clearly and not all the traffic going by. The bandana lantanas, I have enjoyed them. I don't think I like this color. This is the pink with the yellow. I think if I do lantana again next year, it will not be this one. The Oklahoma Sunset zinnias, absolutely loved. The color is good. It's like that nice orangey pink, which is perfect. These ones, I would have preferred them back further, but because of the Amsonia storm cloud, I don't really have that area to do that. So, whatever. Cut back all my Stachys humilo. The deer have browsed this poor sedum to death. What else is there to mention in here? The lavender is still doing good. I did do a little prune back on that one. I think that one's going to be toast, but I have the other ones here. Mums are coming in. This is like a matchstick variety. These are just mums I picked up at a local garden center that managed to come back. And then the deer decided to browse them to nobody's, just for fun. I mean, they never touch mums here. I don't know what their problem is this year. They're trying me. The abelias are still hanging on. I'm hoping they'll settle in very nicely and come back. And then, again, more of that white aster. Still looking pretty good. I'm excited to see how this area develops. The only thing that I'm thinking about changing is this Hinoki cypress. This is a slender Hinoki. And the more I visualize where it's at, it makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. I don't know. We'll think some more on it. A lot of things up here that are going to need to come in, such as a number of the plants on the pot, in the pot, on the pot, in the pot. We have some toad lily blooming here. Totally wrong place. I don't remember this particular variety being this tall, but it's super sweet. It's blooming for a while now, and it's going to continue to bloom for a while. But I do think I want to move that back over there, maybe a bit. The ferns, the pterodactyl ferns are looking really, really good. Even despite the amount of water that Astilbes love, it seems like this particular back Dark Side of the Moon, that's it. Because it's a Chinensis variety, which has more of a drought tolerance, it doesn't love the amount of water that you give grass. So luckily, again, that's over with. This will be the last appearance of this window box. This was probably my favorite container all year. I would absolutely repeat this. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I don't care. But there's a couple caladiums in there that were this one, right? No, it was the one you see over there, Chinook, I believe is the name of it. It's got that more pinky green color. They were in there, and it was absolutely perfect. And then at one point, the fuchsia that was in there was blooming as well, and it looked really good. So I'll be going through, and I'll be getting out the succulents and the wire vine, my palm, and then we'll go from there. I don't think there's anything, oh, and the streptocarpellus. Aside from that, not much more has gone on over here. I do just need to come through and just clean up. Everything looks even worse because of a rain pounding down all day. So I'm planning to add some annuals in here for next year. I'm thinking Wicked Witch Coleus for that big pop of black. I kind of have an idea of what I want to put in these window boxes next year. I do need to go through and I need to clear out the soil, but I'm thinking, I'm not even going to tell. I'm not even going to tell anybody what my ideas are. I've already got them in my head. And then I do want to add a Japanese maple in here. And I think I found a particular variety that I absolutely love. It won't be too heavy for the space because it would be competing then with the large leaf magnolia that you see there. But I need some height here. I need some visual depth, and then we'll have that weeping white spruce, not a pine. I said a pine in the reel of the unboxing, but it's actually a spruce. So we'll have that weeping white spruce that'll get pretty much up to the eave there in, time, and stay very narrow and columnar. And I think that's just going to be chef's kiss. And then our Nona statue, which is our dear friend, in memory of her, she needs painted before that as well. So, number of things. So with all that said, I hope you guys are out in your garden and still enjoying stuff. There's bulb planting to do. There's tons of planting you could be doing. Check the clearance racks. I just went to my local Lowe's, and I see a couple things that I'm going to grab up here very, very shortly. I'm not in the mindset to deal with that right now. I got to deal with what I got, and then continue to weed and get mulch down if you have it like I have. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.